Okay, I want to do a video here and walk you through a few things. I want to talk about some of the very basic fundamentals of the market. The market only ever does four things. It moves higher like this. This is a stair step higher. That should look very familiar. It stair steps lower. Do that over here. Moves lower. Okay. It moves lower like that. Whoop. This candle is moving around. There we go. That should handle that. Moves lower like that. And then it consolidates, which would be we have a high, and then we have a low, and the high stays below this high, and the low stays below or above. So, right, it would look like this. This would be like a consolidation or a range. And sometimes you'll see a false breakout. You'll see it looks like it's breaking up higher or looks like it's breaking down, and they're testing it. And then, so what happens typically with this? There's all sorts of chart patterns that come with this. It's sort of, over time it gets narrow, and they have all these terms they came up for, you know, all that kind of stuff. And then it does this also, where we'll do this over here. The other way this would look would be if it was not if it wasn't doing one of those things, then the other thing that it would be doing is it'd be doing this, where you have a high. Yeah, I should have started that off smaller. You have a high like that, and then you have a low that comes down here, and then you have a higher high and a lower low. What do you call this? That's choppy. Most of the time when people say the market's choppy, they have no idea what they're talking about. That's choppy. Okay? You're getting a higher high and a lower low and a higher high and a lower low. That's choppy. So let's go back through today and look at some of what happened here today. Overnight, if you remember yesterday, I said in the chat at 11:40 a.m. Pacific Standard Time that the market could bounce all the way back to 2503. They bounced back to 2502. They sold off from there, and I want to talk about what actually happened during the morning session. We came into the morning, we were looking for a few opportunities. I'm going to mark them. We were looking for a short opportunity here, kind of most aggressive, and then this area was what we said that was used, so we weren't looking for that to get short. And we set up here and then set up here. So we were looking for short opportunities there. So let's dive into what actually went down here. They put in a low and they started to move higher. So we tried it short. Those weren't working. Some people got long for the bigger bounce up. That's all great, no problem. Here's the high. And let's see, we'll draw this in like that. And now, what is happening here? Basically, I mean, we could go up to here. They did come up to there and get a little bit of a pullback right there. So what do you call that pattern? That's a stair step higher, right? And if we drew it in this way, you would also see you're having higher highs and you're having higher lows, right? So they're stair stepping up. That's what's happening. The market's stair stepping higher. And you really want to start to be able to recognize that pattern. Now what happened here is they came down, they put in that, and then here was your low. So I'm going to make this, whoop. What are we looking at? There we go. So I'm going to bring this in a little bit more here. So what happens? They put in a high, there's a high, there's a lower high, there's a lower high. Now, what about lows? How low can they go? They could pull way back down into here, into this area even, no problem. We just don't want to take out that low. So why that low? Because we had this move up, pull back. We don't want to take out that swing if we're going to keep moving higher. But anywhere between here and here, anything in this entire area is just a pullback for a move higher. Does that mean you can't sell it for a move lower? No, for a move down to here? No, you can totally sell that, but you want to know that it's just a pullback, and eventually, unless they violate this, they're going to turn it back around and go up higher. So what do? There's a low, they put in a low right there, they come back up. We know that if they're going to hold it down, this would be where they would want to hold it down because we had that. So what happens here? They come up here. Oh, they start holding here. So if I want to try it short, I can be getting short up here. I can be getting long here or here or here. And then they start holding here. Okay, that's interesting. There's a high. There's a lower high. Here's a low. Higher low. Higher low. Let's see what next. Okay, so they come back to this low. They don't take that out. Can they take out this high? They don't take out that high. So if I know that this is, maybe they're starting to reverse it a little bit, I want to be getting short up in this area. So I could be starting to get short because I've got a lot of room. If they can't get up above here, they're probably going to come back all the way to the 71 area minimum because we've tried these other prices. So they're going to try to come all the way back to the 71 area. So I've got a lot of room. I've got 40 points of room. So I can start getting short. Okay, there we go. Starts to move. So there's a high. Notice we take out the lows that were important to take out. We're taking out that low. But this is just a pullback to here. So now I want to get long here. And I want to see, can they get back up above over here or back up above over here? So let's see. If they can't get back above here, I want to be shorting over here. Okay, they don't get back above over here. And I'm getting short, and they could come anywhere. They could come down into here, or they could come all the way down to here. So first target would be this area. So they get to this area. I can still try it short again over here, no problem. And can I get them to bring it back down into here and get long from there? They don't bring it down here. That's interesting. And then they start moving back up. Here's a low. There's a low, which is higher. There's a, well, here's a high. Here's a higher high. And I'm now starting to go, they held it there. They brought it up here. They took that out. Maybe I want to start getting long. Here's a great opportunity to get long. And then I'm watching this area. Well, they go right through that area. I'm not trying to sell it because I think ultimately, unless they violate this, I think they're going to try and push it higher. So I'm going, okay, they're holding all this up, no problem. Here's my swing high right there. Let's see if they pull back some. I still want to be getting long. I want to be buying any kind of pullback here. This is a great pullback to be buying. There's my swing low. There's a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. They're moving it up. I know they can come all the way back down into here, no problem, and still move it up higher. So they're consolidating in here a little bit. Notice they take that out by a couple of ticks. We said watch 80. They pulled back to 80.25. And then I still want to be getting long, so I'm buying this area. And then I'm buying right here. We said 25.25. They came all the way up to 25.25 to the tick. They started to pull back some. There's your high. There's a lower high. What's happening? Want to be getting short. There's my low. We're taking out that low. There's my, they come back down into this area. There's my new low. I really don't want to take out that high. So I've got my key turn level up here now. So there's my new, there's my, oh, what's happening here? We have a high, lower low, lower high, higher low. What's happening right here? In this area from here to there, that's consolidation. Now let's see what keeps happening. There's a low, okay, there's a high, more consolidation. There's a low, still consolidation. There's a high, more consolidation. They break down out of the consolidation. Okay, but what were they doing before they consolidated? They were moving lower, and then they started consolidating, and then they continued moving lower. So that is really what you want to be looking for. This area over here, if you're long at 83, you shouldn't be nervous over here about this coming back down to 80, especially in this market. Maybe 3 months ago, we would have said, yeah, you really don't want that to break by 3 points, but in this market, that's really nothing. 3 points is nothing. We're talking about getting long at 80 and targeting 25. That's a 50-point trade. So, 45-point trade. Can you give this a few points? Yeah, you can give this a few points, no problem. You got a 45-point trade over here. You can give up 4.5 points and have a 10-to-1 trade still. So, you just don't have to be getting nervous about that. Everything here in this structure is saying buy. There's nothing over here saying not to buy. They're holding all of this up. You want to be buying that up. Okay? So there you have that. Hopefully, that breaking that down, they're either stair-stepping higher, they're stair-stepping lower, they're consolidating, or they're choppy. That's really it. Okay? And if you can start breaking that down and then use prediction points in conjunction with what is the market doing, that's where you can really start to see, some of these big opportunities that you see some of the traders getting here. So hopefully that is useful, makes some sense. If you have questions, post them up and we'll get them answered.